Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. This is your latest Arsenal news and transfer news. We're going to be talking about Jurrien Timber and Mohamed Simiga. Now, according to the Premier League and the Arsenal website as well, Jurrien Timber will undergo surgery and will be out for quite some time. Bad times, very bad news, sad times for us as well. Jurrien Timber has also taken to his Instagram and said, at the moment, it is bad. It is worse than expected. I'm not going to be, I'm not going to be playing football for quite some time for you, sweet Gunners. But I will be back, and I'm going to work as much as I can to support the team from the stands as well. Hit the like button, subscribe to the podcast as well. It's a bad time, isn't it? It's a really bad time. Now, this is the statement that has been released by the Premier League, courtesy of Arsenal's announcement. And why I've gone with this statement is because it's a little bit more detailed as compared to what Arsenal have actually put out. So they're saying Timber will undergo, or Timber to undergo surgery after suffering an ACL injury on debut. It has been produced on the 16th of August. And they're saying, they're quoting Arsenal's official website. Arsenal have stated Jurrien Timber suffered an ACL injury during his Premier League debut against Nottingham Forest on Saturday and will require surgery. The defender who signed from Ajax this summer hurt himself while tackling Brennan Johnson late in the first half. Although he went on to start the second half, he quickly pulled up and limped off in the 50th minute. Arsenal now have revealed the full extent of the problem. So Arsenal have just given us a second update on what was on top of what was the first update earlier on in the last 24 hours, and they're saying that a club statement has further said that further detailed assessments with consultant specialists since Saturday, we can confirm that Jurrien Timber has sustained an injury to his anterior cruciate ligament (ACL) in his right knee. Jurrien Timber will undergo surgery in the coming days and will be out of action for a period of time. That period of time is unspecified at the moment, but wait a minute, I'm going to explain. The support and expertise of our medical team, which I actually doubt, and everyone at the club will be focused now on Jurrien Timber's rehabilitation program to ensure he recovers well and be back playing as soon as possible. Timber wrote on his Instagram and he said, I'm gutted. My injury is more serious than expected, especially after the warm welcome I received from you, the fans. I wanted to repay you on the pitch, which will not be possible for the forthcoming period. I'm blessed with a lot of great people around me. Together we will do anything to get back as soon and strong as possible. For now, I will be supporting the team from the stands, of course. An official statement from Arsenal and a semi-official but very important update from Jurrien Timber as well. Now, Timber initially had gone to his Twitter and had posted that he's going to come back soon, and that's why he has he's actually gone back on his words and said, I thought it was going to be easy. I thought it was going to be small, but the extent of the injury is as big as I never imagined. It is worse than we actually anticipated. Timber has suffered an ACL, and that injury has a track record of keeping players for 6 months out to 10 months out. That is the estimated period of time that Jurrien Timber will spend out. Like minimum 5 months to 6 months, maximum 10 months to a year. Now, it's bad. It's absolutely bad, and that's why I took my time, go and look at this injury, what the extent could be. Could there be any miracles? I think there could be miracles because Mikel Arteta's already talked about players like Timber, Xhaka, players that keep on fighting, players that always give everything they have to the club, players that want to come back as soon as possible, players that will even defy the odds in terms of an injury. But Timber's injury is actually very bad. It is bad, right? He's going to go through surgery, and that itself is going to take some time. I think we might not see him stepping well for a couple of maybe 3-4 months, and then after that he can start walking. After maybe 6-7 months, he's going to start maybe stepping a little bit and doing some little things. After 8 months, we could see him maybe train alone and have his personal instructor, and then maybe after the season ends, we could see Jurrien Timber coming back and start next season. It's gonna be a very big blow for Mikel Arteta. He's gonna be a player because he was a player that had given Mikel Arteta a lot of hope among all the signings in this window. Timber had given Mikel Arteta a lot of hope, a lot of something to work with. When you sign players and it's a gamble. Transfers are a gamble. You don't know whether they're gonna work out or they're not actually going to work out. But with Jurrien Timber, Mikel Arteta had got evidence that whatever we've done, the litmus test has come out positive. And then this happens. It is absolutely very, very poor. I think it was going to give us an edge in games against Man United, Liverpool, Newcastle. Those games that have lightning quick players, lightning quick wingers, players with quick feet, and all that quality. I think he massively had upgraded our quality in this side defensively to levels you cannot imagine. I can't explain. I'm lost for words for Jurrien Timber. I just don't understand how this happened. But I just want to talk about our medical team. Just a second. I give them a lot of credit, and I do. I give them credit for Saka. I give them credit for Martinelli. I give them a lot of credit. But I want to ask one or two questions here. One is, how did this guy get checked at halftime? He had pulled something before halftime. He got checked and it was clear to go again in the second half. And only 5 minutes later, he's actually pulled out. And now we are talking about 10 months. We are talking about 7 months. We're talking about, 10 months, 1 year on the sidelines. Is the medical team really going to sit there and go, well, we saw he was very fine, he was very okay, and we said he's gonna continue, and now it's a year? I mean, there must be questions to be answered. If I'm Mikel Arteta, I need a full detailed report of what you guys did at halftime. What did they do at halftime? Because if Timber is gonna be out for 3 months or 2 months, that is really understandable. That's pretty much understandable. Like, listen, I mean, there is an excuse there that we thought it wasn't serious, but it's going to be as serious as 2 months. But when you tell a manager the player is keen to go on, and then 5 minutes later, you tell the manager that the player is going to be out for a full season, I could sack you. If I have the power, I could see you out of the job. I kind of feel like we've been let down by our medical team here. If Jurrien Timber is taken off at halftime, Tomiyasu is introduced, or whoever is introduced, or Jakub Kiwior, this doesn't happen. He might have missed the Crystal Palace game. He might have missed the Everton game. He might have missed the Man United game, right? But that is all he could miss. But now, Mikel Arteta has to scamper for options back in the market. He's got to now look at who is available at the best price. And what do we do even if we get someone who's available as good as Timber? The squad is 32 men. We're trying to trim it. We were looking at exits rather than incomings. Now that means that we have to be under pressure to perform in the market in the last few days. Rob Holding has to go. Kieran Tierney has to go. Cedric Soares has to go. Potentially anyone that Arsenal could get rid of has to go before we bring in another 30, 35 or even 40 million pound signing in the window. So for me, the medical team should have done a little bit better. They should have advised Mikel Arteta that the player is alright, but just for caution, right? Just for caution, how about he doesn't continue? How about you take him off and then you can play him against Crystal Palace, or throughout the week during training. If then he failed something, then they would actually look at it. Bad job, Very, very poor job from the from this medical team there. But anyway, let's look at what the Guardian are saying. The Guardian are saying that it remains to be it remains to be seen whether Arsenal will rekindle their interest in RB Leipzig's defender Mohamed Simakan following Jurrien Timber's injury. Simakan could cost in excess of £35 million, according to Ed Aarons from the Guardian. That is the latest name to an array of names that Arsenal are looking at. I really like Simakan. And I think Simakan would be an interesting option. I think he's not left-footed, so that means that Gabriel still stays in the team, or Jakub Kivio stays in the team. Because if we're going to play Mohamed Simakan, unless Mikel Arteta decides to go the way he's done with Jurrien Timber, then would be inverting from the right-hand side. But we've already seen that Partey is going to be playing there most of the time this campaign, as we don't have anywhere to play him. Partey has already taken up that central midfield role. Simakan, 35 million, not a bad shout, in my opinion. If we can get rid of these guys, Rob Holding, whoever can get out, right? Whoever we can get out of the door, if we can get rid of them, then Mohamed Simakan, not a bad shot, right? Not a bad shot. But this news from the Premier League, from Arsenal, it just breaks me down. It really, really does. But anyway, come on, you Gunners. We focus ahead. The title charge is still on. I'll see you right in the next one. Hit the like button, subscribe. See you around.